Where was that for you? Just another fact.
Mic check 1 2. I should have done a mic check earlier. Actually, I would have been straight. Or I would have been fucked up. Then he would have told me. Fuck it, let's do it.
Year 9. The year I made it was year 3.
Fuck it, let's do it.
You want to know another one? You averaged 7 points and 2 is. I don't even know if I'm doing this.
Bro, that nigga was wild.
Now, I know he mad as hell.
Bro, Pat Bev, man. Why you dressed like this, first of all? You look like somebody mama. You look like somebody mama went to the VMAs. All right, what's up, bro?
If any other All-Star would have said something, I would have let it slide. But
stop, bro. I ain't gonna cap. Stop. If any other All-Star would have said something, you would not have let it slide. Stop it. You lying already. We not even 30 seconds in. Well, we not even 50 seconds in, bro.
Shoot, like, you out of all people, you had no room to say anything. You haven't done anything. So, when it comes to criticism...
What you mean he ain't done nothing? Can
Bro,
I look up
what?
Trae Young's resume? Hold on.
Trae Young ain't done nothing, my nigga.
Young accolades.
What have you done that he hasn't done, Pat Bev? Pat Bev, what have you done that he hasn't done? Pat Bev.
All NBA third team 2022. He's a 4-time All-Star, a third team member in 2022, 2025 assist title rookie team in 2019.
2019.
He ain't done nothing.
2019. Should I get some wings? Should I get some wings, y'all? Or is it too late? And before anybody says something in the chat, nigga, you the last person to be talking about niggas with wings. So don't even go there with me. Where is that? They got the honey honey barbecue, 15-piece joint. Or should I get the 20-piece? A 20-piece joint. If I get a 20-piece joint, I won't get nothing else. No rice, no nothing. Just the wings. Fuck it. Let's do it. All right, back to the video.
Why the fuck you can't be criticized? Like, what have you done where you can't be criticized? Like, we criticize Russell Westbrook, a 2-time MVP. Motherfuckers call him Westbrook. We criticize LeBron James, right? We criticize all these people. What? Who the fuck said you can't be criticized? Like, you haven't done anything. So until you've done something, yes, you have to be criticized. And you should appreciate it because the criticism isn't coming from a player who hasn't played. It's coming from somebody who's shared the floor with you.
What the fuck? Hold on 1 second. What the fuck is a player that hasn't played? He wouldn't be a player then. Unless you're talking about somebody that rode the bench or something. I just want to understand that. But
Left a mark in the NBA. Right? So like,
Hey, yo, Pat Bev, you taking this a little, bro.
should I get the strawberry fan and the peach or the lemonade?
Listen,
I'm with you. You the fastest person to 12,000 points, and you the fastest person to 4,000 assists, and you get scored on the most in the NBA. Empty stats, we call them. That's the truth. That is the hard truth, bro. Like, that's the truth. And use it as motivation. And it's gonna be motivation because you got on your platform, you said your thing, you popped your shit. I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that you did, bro. Like, I appreciate that. It makes me sense. You got a sense of fire in you, but the truth is the truth, bro. You don't win. And until you start winning, it's when your word can become bigger. If this was anybody else, I'd take it. You know what? KD, you got it. I can't say nothing to you. What I'm gonna say to KD, Brian, you got it. But you on the other hand, nah, you ain't got it. Humble yourself. Embrace the constructive criticism, get better at that, and move the fuck on. We don't have to keep going back like this a motherfucking YouTube debate. Like, it ain't that.
But it is a YouTube debate, my nigga. Is this video not on YouTube, my nigga? Are you not debating about what is being discussed at hand? The first person that brought it to YouTube was you, my nigga. I mean, obviously your podcast or whatever, but the podcast was put on YouTube and all other social medias. Point is, this wouldn't be a YouTube debate if it wasn't for you, my nigga. So I don't, you know, it just be shit like that.
Deep. You talk about uncomfortable.
Bro, but you listen, Pat Bev, when you responded, the way you responded on your platform to the tweet, you made it that deep. And you wasn't even criticizing. You was going to keep disrespecting Trae Young. So Trae Young responded with disrespect.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
because there's nothing All-Stars have to do with playoff appearances. And Trae Young is the leader of his team. So the way he wins is going to be different the way you win, because it's going to be looked at differently for Trae Young than it will for you.
About me coming to the league at, 24? Do you know where I was at before you get the name and shit, right? We talk about.
I do agree with this point.
You can make it out of second division Ukraine, right? You think you can go to Greece? Make a team, right? Make a team and get out of Greece and get drafted. You think you can go play in Russia for 3 years? Make it out? Still go to the NBA? You talking about uncomfortable?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Motherfucker that know uncomfortable more than anybody.
Why did he make this video like it was some type of movie trailer? Like, what's up with all these sound effects and the camera panning and shit? Words across the screen, like we about to watch a movie. Is this about to be a documentary? Is this gonna be a docu-series? Niggas is talking about this shouldn't be a YouTube debate, but put out the most cinematic shit. Like, there's gonna be more to come after this. Like, it's gonna be a boxing match or something. Like, what's up?
Right? But
I agree with that.
all that, we go talk facts, right? Like, because I like to go facts. And anything I say, right, is don't take it how I'm saying it. Just take it, is it true, yes or no? Simple as that, right? Facts. Right. This is a fact. Everyone that comes sees Trae Young, they get thrown out the building by their collar. You hear me? Players come, they see you, they get traded. Coaches come, they coach you, they get traded.
What?
GMs come, they govern the team, and then they get fired. Everyone that sees Trae Young gets fired. That's the truth.
What?
That is the truth.
Hey,
what are you talking about now, bro?
well, I mean, we say the same thing about a lot of superstars. We can say it about Giannis. We can say it about Bron.
Like, hold on. What is the point here? What are we actually discussing? Because now I feel like you're just trying to find something negative to say about this nigga. What? Of course he's going to see niggas come and go if he is the franchise, my nigga. If he's the face of the fucking franchise and he's the only nigga that's staying, then, you know, clearly he's a vital piece. You wouldn't go somewhere and get kicked off if you was not an integral part of that franchise or that organization. Ain't nobody going to LA and kicking LeBron off the fucking team. Ain't nobody going to what's it called? To Boston and kicking JT off the fucking team. They didn't see multiple coaches, multiple rosters. What are we talking about? Like, you just trying to find negative things to say. See, you losing me, dog.
We can say it about KD. We can say that. One person we probably really can't say that with is about Kobe Bryant and Steph Curry. Everybody else, I mean, coaches just got fired under a lot of players. James Harden, Joel Embiid.
All right.
Melo.
No one has Coach Killer. Like, no one has. People are scared to play in Atlanta. This is the truth. I don't know if you know or not. Feel me? I really don't know if you know or not, right? Players don't want to come play in Atlanta. Coaches don't want to come coach in Atlanta. Lloyd Pierce, great young coach. Nick McMillan, phenomenal coach. Cooked when they came and saw you. Cooked. We talking about coaches who had bright futures, right? People come see you after they leave you, they're cooked. That's the truth. When I was overseas, you can ask anybody, the man. When I was in college, the man. In high school, the man. Can you be the man and come to the NBA and be a whole nother different role?
What? Bro. He didn't have to be a whole nother different role because he came to the NBA and was still the man. He literally was in high school, college, and came to the league and was the man in every situation. Because he was supposed to be the man. You was the man up until you got into the league because you weren't supposed to be the man at that level. That wasn't your role. Like, what's up? So now we criticizing players for being great? For being the man? Like, I wish you would come out your mouth. I wish you would fix your mouth to look at a nigga like LeBron and be like, can you come out of being the man, being the number one player, being whatever, woody-woo, in high school and coming to the league and not being the man? I wish you would fix your mouth to say some shit like that. Your ass will be gone out that damn organization. Damn near out of the league. That shit's so blasphemous. I don't understand, bruh. Like you really trying. You really trying.
Can you be an offensive threat your whole career, come to the NBA, all of a sudden you're the best defensive player? These are your words, not mine. These are you saying words about me. I'm a great defensive player. Can you switch your roles and become a great?
He doesn't have to.
Right.
He's a franchise player.
Bro, shit just be so funny, man.
And if he gets traded off, he decides to leave a team. At worst, he's going to be the third best player. At worst.
At worst. That's the very worst. He's definitely going to be at least
come on, man. You reaching like Michael Jordan in Space Jam with this one, bro. I'm with you on the uncomfortable part, though. And don't nobody know uncomfortable like you know uncomfortable. Facts.
Yeah, you got that, bro. Ain't nothing wrong. Listen, bro, listen. Ain't nobody here to discredit you, Pat Bev, or like the shit that you done went through and all the stroke. Nigga, we know how hard you had it. And even if we don't understand it completely because we not you, nigga, ain't nobody saying you wasn't. But you trying to tear a whole nother player down that's on a whole nother level in their career already, and they not even close to finish with their career. They on a whole nother level than anything you did in your career already, early. Come on, man. There's a difference, bro. There's a difference.
Nobody cares.
Defensive player. You mentioned all the guys I played with, right? All the guys I played with. Right. LeBron's, the James Hardens, the Kawhis, the Giannis's, the Dames, right? You name all these guys, right? But
that's some pedigree right there, my nigga.
If I'm working out in Houston, James Harden is in Houston working out, not James Harden is working out at another place. Every time we see you, you're working out at another place. We never see you in the Hawks.
Yeah, you just saying shit now. Like you shotgunning this shit. I ain't gonna cap. You saying a whole bunch of random shit. A whole bunch of random negative shit, hoping it hits somewhere or it sticks somewhere. Praying that it hit in multiple places. But you don't got no actual point. You don't got no actual aim in what you saying. You know, I got a lot of respect for you, Pat. I don't like to see you like this, man. I don't like to see you go out like this. Because then, you know, it gives room for niggas to tear down what you have built. Because you decided to go at this nigga. Or to take it this far going at this nigga. Like, ain't nothing wrong with criticizing niggas. Ain't nobody saying niggas can't be criticized. But the way you talk about the nigga like he can't talk to you, or he can't respond to you, my nigga, and you got like disrespectful, like come on, dog. If you was still in the league, then I say I bet. You know what I'm saying? They gonna see each other, cool. But nigga, you out the league now, like don't try to puff your chest up and all that. Like, nah, nigga. No. There's levels to that shit, bro.
Arena working out. What teammate? What leader? Like I come.
What are you
to
getting
the
at?
Lakers
What
facility,
leader?
LeBron is there at 5 o'clock in the morning. I
What
come to
leader?
the Milwaukee Bucks facility to get my work in. Greek is there already.
How do you, okay, so you know this nigga be working out every single time he work out, he not with his team or he not with somebody? So you there. You wake up with this nigga, take a shower, get dressed, and you see that nigga's day ins and day outs every single day. Like, come on, dog. Come on, bro. You reaching. I ain't gonna care. You really reaching. I got a lot of respect for you, Pat Bell.
James Harden has been there, practices, and he gonna come back that night. You're the only person who's
Why is his lip moving like that? He's pissed.
practices.
Watch his
and he
lip
gonna come
quiver,
back that
quiver. Watch.
night. You're the only person we see on the internet never at your practice facility. It's why. It's why.
Hold up.
Like we facility. You're the only person we see on the internet never at your practice facility.
On the internet. Keyword. On the internet. You think that nigga's never at the practice facility for real, my nigga? So a nigga don't post that he's at the practice facility and all of a sudden, boom, he's a bad leader. This is a bad look for you, my dog. This is a very bad look for you.
It's why. It's why. Like we gonna be real, let's be real. That's real. You're not a great leader. Can you be a great leader? Yes. Yes, you can. Right? Right?
You ain't been in that locker room. You ain't talked to none of his teammates. You talked to players that you say are afraid to go to the Hawks or afraid to come to Atlanta. Nigga, you not in that locker room. You can't say whether or not he's a great leader based off of what you're, at least based off of what you're talking about. If it was based off of something that you could actually see in game that made him a bad leader, then you would have more merit. But you talking about shit that you don't see and shit that you don't see in regards to on the internet. You're not in them locker rooms. You're not at the practice facility. You don't live in Atlanta. Like, all this shit is just for what? Based on what? Come on, dog.
Will it take this? Probably so. Regardless how it goes, it's gonna be good that comes out of this, regardless, right? I hope this is motivating, right? I hope that you get to the
Man,
end
get
of
on
the
the phone. Shit, I'm so sick of this internet. Get on the phone, cutting.
you fighting for a motherfucking a playoff spot. I hope that this is so fucking motivating that this takes you to the Eastern Conference. I hope. Trust me. I like to see you at half court shivering them little ass shoulders. Right? But don't get it twisted, Trey.
He said what?
See you at half court shivering them little ass shoulders.
Shivering them little ass shoulders. His shoulders. What are you laughing at? Shivering them little ass shoulders. His shoulders don't got to be that big for him to hit his shots, though. That's the thing. You could have the biggest shoulders in the world, bricking the fuck out them hoes, Pat Bev. But you know what? I'll let you get that one off. Shivering them little ass shoulders. That was, yeah, okay.
Right? But don't get it twisted, Trey. Like, don't get it twisted. When you talk about facts and basketball, these are facts. You don't win. People get fired. Simple as that.
My nigga, you know, when people say shit like, these are facts, right? Or don't get it twisted about facts. that don't mean what you saying and actually holds any merit. Because you can say a bunch of random ass facts and still not have no direction. What the fuck you talking about? I could say the sky is blue and then try to tell you how to throw a football. It's not gonna make a fucking difference. I could sit here and be like, the grass is about 2-3 centimeters off of what it usually is, and it's not gonna make you a better baseball player. You see how those facts have nothing to do with each other? Or whatever the fuck I'm talking about. You just saying a bunch of random ass shit. And the shit that you talking about, you don't even actually know because you basing it off of shit that you feel like you haven't seen on the internet. Like, come on, dog. Let's be real. This shit look bad.
And we talk about like roles, right? We talk about what you say 7 points, right? Like that was my role, right?
Right.
To make motherfuckers like you look good, right? To make motherfuckers who don't play defense, who are liabilities in the fourth quarter.
Wait, hold up. What do you say?
Right. Role, right? To make motherfuckers like you look good.
To make motherfuckers like you look good? Your role, scoring 7 points was to make motherfuckers like Trae Young look good? Scoring 7 points? You know Trae Young does more than score. He assists. So if anything, if you was on the team with Trae Young, you scoring more and him getting more assists off of you would make him look better. What are you talking about? Or are you just talking about defensively how you impact the game so that he doesn't have to guard woo-doo-woo? Like, man, I just feel like you're just saying shit, bro.
Right. To make motherfuckers who don't play defense, who are liabilities in the fourth quarter. If it's a tie game and the other team has the ball, you cannot be on the court. This is the truth. Everybody used to come want to play in Atlanta. Every coach used to come want to coach in Atlanta. Like Atlanta is ATL shawty. Like everybody want to be.
Stop. I hate when niggas. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't do that. Stop. Atlanta is not ATL shawty. Atlanta is not ATL shawty. Atlanta is Atlanta. That's what it is. Don't add no shit. Nah. If you're not from Atlanta, don't try to act like you're from Atlanta. If you're not from Atlanta, don't try to act like you just know what Atlanta is. No. Stop. I'm sick and tired of niggas doing that.
In the A. You got that, they've been awful.
Awful? What? Okay.
They've been god awful. The last point guard who held it down was Jeff T. You just on a power with him. Was Jeff T. All-star. Also. Want the main player. Got farther than you. Like, so come on with all that.
But Trae Young got a conference finals under his belt.
I was about to say, yo, you act like Trae Young ain't never sniffed the playoffs or something, my nigga. He was on a playoff run. He was beating niggas that niggas thought he couldn't beat. Like, and if you look at the pieces that Jeff Teague had, nigga, he had pieces. Paul Millsap, Al Horford, Kyle Korver, my nigga. Thabo Cephalosha. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had pieces. Like, pieces. You sitting here talking about niggas don't want to come to Atlanta. No, it really is. Atlanta has not been able to secure good enough pieces for him. You think niggas don't want to play with Trae Young? It would be one thing if he was a point guard that literally just scored the ball and didn't pass, or he was just a purely scoring point guard and he doesn't like create plays, and like he literally creates plays. The gravity of his game creates play because he can pull it from so deep, because he can work off the P&R so fucking well. I ain't seen a P&R that well since goddamn Chris Paul. I'm talking about very well. Atlanta being as bad as you say they've been has not been on Trae Young's shoulders. Trae Young has been carrying the team farther than it needs to be carried based off of how good they are supposed to be with the pieces he had. If he had Paul Millsap, Kyle Korver, Thabo Sefolosha, and some a couple other pieces, my nigga, what the fuck? You think he wouldn't make it to the conference finals? And that team didn't even make it. Like, you making it seem like the Jeff Teague team made it to the NBA finals or something. My nigga, that team got swept by Cleveland every single time they played them. If you talking about facts, bro, I ain't gonna cap. You can't sit here and try to act ignorant. Like, man, I'm losing it, bro. I'm losing you.
Did the Hawks made a conference final? I don't know if they made a conference finals with Jeff Teague.
They didn't.
I'm all with
I think
you.
they did.
If they did, then they still got swept.
You to be in the playoffs, right? You're the closest motherfucking thing when it comes from shooting the ball to Steph Curry. You're the closest motherfucking thing. The game needs you, but you gotta sacrifice yourself more for the better of the team. And sometimes that means your game, or sometimes that means your personality, straight up. And that's all it is. Constructive criticism.
Like, this constructive criticism that you say is supposed to be constructive isn't actually based on any facts. The facts that you brought have no correlation, right? The quote-unquote facts you brought. You didn't bring up any field goal percentages. You didn't bring up any true shooting percentages. You didn't bring up any actual statistics showing bad decision-making and bad leadership, because he's quite literally a point guard. That's the best position you can measure how effective of a leader they are on the court, because that's literally their fucking job. Like, by default, it don't matter who the fuck else on that team. And you didn't bring up shit, because everything that you would bring up would say otherwise from what the fuck you talking about. The only thing you could bring up was the team. And the team is objectively worse than it was, and it's only as good as it is right now, or as it has been, because of Trae Young. And I'm not even a diehard Hawks fan, bro. I'm from Atlanta, and I ain't never really been a diehard Hawks fan, bro. I just be laughing. When we get somewhere, you know, I cheer. If we lose, I just laugh because, you know, it's Atlanta. Fuck it. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like shit you saying about Trae Young, just like, oh yeah, no, fuck no. You crazy as fuck.
Take it how you fucking want to take it. It don't matter to me, but don't take it personal. And I'm all with it.
Don't take it personal. Okay. All right.
Oh, this is some of the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen from both of these guys. And they talk about don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal, but I'm going to sit here and call you all type of shit, question your character all type of ways outside of what actually is supposed to be criticized. But then I'm going to tell you don't take it personal. Okay. All right, cool.
This is way past personal player. This is way past personal player.
Like,
bar.
It ain't boxing. Like, this ain't fighting level. But this is definitely disrespectful to the point where it's personal. Like, come on, dog. Come on.
Call me anything. You call me crazy. You can call me delusional. Right?
Yeah, very.
But where I'm from, you have to be delusional to even make it out.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. Now, this is why I can't take you serious at all. Because you add these sound effects and zooming and shit. Like it's some movie or something to you. Like, are you auditioning for a part, Pat Bev? You trying to be Franklin fucking Saint? This ain't Snowfall, my nigga. You not off the damn shrooms. You not off the LSD, my nigga. You not catching bodies. What is this, man?
Right. I know you talking about me standing on the table, me with my jersey. Where I'm from, we celebrate all wins, even the minor shit. Where I'm from, we celebrate waking up and making it back home. We celebrate every fucking win. And that's your issue right there. Anybody can celebrate the big wins. Motherfucker, yes, you damn right.
Anybody can celebrate the big wins? No, they can't. Because not anybody gets the big wins, my nigga. It's not how it fucking works. That's why it's a big win. What the fuck are you? You really lost me now. Not anybody. Anybody can celebrate the big wins. Yeah, that's if anybody could get the big wins, my nigga. Duh. That's stupid as fuck. Somebody that don't get the big wins, of course they gonna celebrate the small wins. Oh my God, yeah, like we finally did this. Woo-doo-woo. Like, don't get me wrong. Waking up being grateful that you woke up that morning and you know, being grateful that you made it far in life and that you accomplished everything you accomplished, my nigga, ain't nothing wrong with that. But that point right there, anybody can celebrate the big wins. Well, not anybody gets the big wins, my nigga. That's why they fucking big wins. Duh. What are you talking about? Like, don't act clueless. Like, niggas is talking about that shit specifically because you sat here and said, what the fuck have you done? Nigga, you sitting here celebrating a play-in win. A game that you wouldn't even be playing if you actually deserved to be in the playoffs or like was cemented to belong in the playoffs like you were supposed to. And you took care of business like you were supposed to during the season. That's what the whole point of pointing that out was. You know, you want to be the person to call out and say, what have you done? Whole time you doing shit like this, highlighting that you've done nothing. At least in comparison, relatively. Like, it just, come on, dog. You're not slow. We're not going to sit here and act like you slow. I'm not going to talk to you like you slow. I'm not going to sit here and act like you my little brother, like you a little kid. Come on.
Took off jersey, stood on the motherfucking table, swung it in the air like this. You
like
right?
you was Dwayne Wade in the playoffs. Like, come on, dog. Stop.
I did. Do it again. We celebrate all wins. For real. Get out your feelings. Stop acting like a little boy. And when you talk, peep your motherfucking chest up and say it with heart.
Get out your feelings. Coming from a nigga that's currently in his feelings, y'all. Get out your feelings. Coming from a nigga that is currently in his feelings. Currently, in this moment. You know, it's just basketball.
What are you talking about? Small wins. Yes, you celebrate everything. Every single thing. What are we talking about? It's basketball. But that's where I'm from. Feel me? You was in the house, I was in the field. Fucking delusion, man.
You was in the house, I was in the field. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Pat Bev? What are you talking about? Like, what? No.
Man, look, man.
Did he hit his face on the
You
mic?
was in the house, I was in the field.
He hit his shoulder on the mic.
Fucking delusion, man, look.
He hit his shoulder on the mic because his shoulder's too fucking big. He worried about niggas' shoulder sizes and shit. Fuck is wrong with this nigga, bro?
Oh, he hit his shoulder. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. This is become.
Nigga
All right,
in
go
the
ahead.
gym, in the field, doing a whole bunch of shoulder raises, averaging 7 points.
It did this. Either get on the phone or like stop talking about it, which I'm pretty sure Trae Young. I don't know if Trae Young is gonna say something about it, but at the end of the day,
Honestly, it don't make
Trae
no more.
Young
It
is
don't really make no more difference for Trae Young to keep talking because Pat Bev just embarrassed himself. Trae Young's still in the league, so he's still got a job to do, and it's still got a team to lead, contrary to what niggas is saying. So I don't think he needs to waste any more time, and he just need to go out there and handle business. Pat Bev don't have a career no more. His career is quite literally in podcasting. So it only helps Pat Bev if Trae Young keeps talking about it. That's the only person that helps at this point.